And we are live.
Okay, good evening and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Port Jervis City School District Board of Education. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to resume regular session.
I'll move it.
I'll second. Bill and Judy, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this time, would everyone stand for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence? Ryan, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this time, I'd like a motion and a second to approve the board meeting agenda.
I'll move it.
Kayla?
Second.
Bill? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay, this time we have a presentation from the athletic department. Mr. Hollick?
Turn it off. Do not you gotta turn it off. Go there. Click on there.
Good evening.
Go this way.
Good evening.
And then we can go in a
I'd
minute.
like to go over a brief number of slides here, just so to keep the board up to date on what we're doing in the athletic department at this time.
Forward. There you go.
These are the seasons that the section came up with and the dates for the starting of the seasons. Now, November 30th is will be the winter season. That's basketball, cheerleading, indoor track, and wrestling. But I don't think they're gonna have a consensus yet because the state said that the high-risk sports, the guidelines for that aren't gonna be available until December 31st. So I think at this next AD's meeting that we're having on Tuesday, they're going to throw that out for discussion to see, because we can't start on November 30th if they're not going to give us guidelines until December 31st. Fall season, those are the sports involved: cheer, cross country, football, girls tennis, soccer, and volleyball, and that begins March 1st. Spring season, baseball, boys tennis, golf, softball, spring track, and unified sports. That'll start on April 19th. There may be an overlap in some of the seasons. However, the required number of practices for each sport, 3 will be able to be carried over from one sport to another so that they can shorten the time for the number of practices. Now, we're hoping to, not hoping, we will be starting on October 27th, our preseason, off-season conditioning. And that's basketball, football, and volleyball, and cheerleading. Ms. Hattie is checking with her students to see if she's gonna have a number to be able to do preseason warm-ups with them also. We have a preseason protocol plan. Do you have one for each board member? Okay, and if you have any questions.
So what were you saying about the first part? You're still going to a meeting to find out if...
Yeah, the high-risk sports, because wrestling will be starting in the winter season.
So it might not begin on November 30th?
We're also going to have to come up with the guidelines before.
Okay,
So we'll kind of-
thank you.
What else?
If I could just add a few things, Mr. Hollick. So, Mr. Hollick has been working very hard he always works very hard, but he's been working very hard on what these phases will look like, because we share a philosophy that we want to get our students, our student athletes back in the game. As far as the interscholastic competition, so that November 30th date, that is beyond our control. That's what was agreed upon. And just to summarize what Mr. Hogg was saying, winter sports will be played first. It'll be followed by fall sports, followed by spring sports, abbreviated seasons. So on paper, it's the best that could possibly happen, right? One of the things that is allowed is pre-season or conditioning type of programs. And we are big believers that our student athletes should have that opportunity. Mr. Hollick, along with the coaches that were interested and able to do programs, completed the New York State form that's required. We collectively decided to come up with a very comprehensive safety plan or protocol plan. That's what was in your red folders this evening. Mr. Hollick was very instrumental in collaborating with the coaches to get that done. And really basically it just spells out, what does this look like in Port Jervis? And then between Mr. Hollick and district office, we said, let's have each sport that wants to do it, they'll do a sport-specific protocol. And our coaches that are doing these programs did a great job. Ray, I think you'd agree with that, right? With the protocol, and really just ensured the different nuances of the different sports will still be following the protocol, because we want this to be able to continue, but we also want everyone to be healthy and not also lose our instructional ability to have our instructional program. So doing everything very procedurally and methodically will pay off, and we want our students to be active, and we also want them to be competitive, quite frankly. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. So it includes weight room, conditioning outdoors, etc. So great job, Mr. Hollick.
Thanks, Mr. Holland.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is administrative reports. Mr. Lenz.
Hi, good evening. So I just want to go over a few things that have been happening. One is that Mr. Segarra, as I reported a couple meetings ago, did secure some E-rate funding, which is federal funding, that is allowing us to update our entire wireless system in the district. And that was actually at a cost, or anticipated cost, of about $400,000, and 85% of that was coming back to the district. The new news is that we're actually able to run that local share, so the remaining 15% through our BOCEs. So we're waiting for them to cut the PO so we can move forward with the work. But as soon as they do that, we will receive BOCEs aid on that local share, reducing the local share that much more because we'll receive aid on that portion as well. So, that $60,000 so cost will actually turn into almost 20. So it's pretty exciting. And today I participated with our health insurance consortium, and we are able to offer 3 additional benefits starting January 1. And what those updates are is that our ambulatory coverage currently was only for in-network, and actually 4 out of the 5 trips to the hospital, unfortunately, were mainly out of network, because when you call for an ambulance, you can't really decide if it's in network or out. So that's switching to all of them will be covered, and so there will be a $70 copay for and or out of network ambulatory coverage. And then durable medical equipment was a $1,000 deductible. That's actually being removed. And so now it will be a $25 copay for each item in lieu of having that deductible. So I think that will certainly allow a large portion of our health population to receive the proper equipment instead of foregoing something because of that deductible standing in their way. And the other is that when you go into the hospital, you have an inpatient copay. and that copay is $100. But then, as other doctors enter the room, people were being charged an additional $25 copay for every time that doctor entered the room. So an example I would give is you may see a dietitian and you're going to pay a $25 copay. So those are being eliminated, and so now the $100 inpatient copay will be the only copay you pay for that visit. So each of these things are certainly a great addition for our health plan, and great benefit to all of those that receive that. And then thirdly, some individuals in the community have already received an electronic benefit card, and that is related to a pandemic allocation that occurred because of the fact that we are a CEP program, or community eligible program for our K through 8 students. So any student in the district that was on the roster last year, K through 8, that household will be receiving a allocation of $420 total for each of those children in the district. And some people may have already received this, because if you're already receiving SNAP benefits, you would have seen this money allocated to you in March, April, May, and June, so it would have just shown up on the card at that time. But for anybody that is not currently receiving those types of benefits, they're actually receiving cards in the mail and will continue to receive them for the remainder of the month with that total allocation of $420. So it has nothing to do with income level, it just has to do with federal stimulus money, and this is how the state is distributing some of those funds. So it really is all of those K through 8 students in our district, as well as anybody, of course, at the high school level that were receiving SNAP benefits. Receive that. And that's my report for this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Pantaleo?
Thank you, Lisa. I just want to thank Mr. Hollick for his presentation this evening. Did a great job. Also to note, in your board packets tonight is also a copy of the athletic handbook. Mr. Hollick and his coaches are doing really tremendous work, really forming this handbook, which will be facilitated this sports season. Along with that, Mr. Hollick will be really creating opportunities for parents and student athletes to meet in forums, to really receive some just education on what the handbook, what's entailed in it. And so we're excited for that. Thank you, Mr. Hollick, for that as well. I'm also excited to share that we will be rolling out a district-wide Remind app. And this is two-way communication, which is essential for keeping everyone in our learning community informed. With that being said, it's a tool that we're going to facilitate training in a synchronous and asynchronous model to our staff, really with a large rollout coming at our conference day, November 3rd. And it allows educators, parents, and students to reach each other via phone or text with their personal contact information really veiled in that manner. And this is essential for Ed Law 2D privacy, which Mr. Segura will be provided training to our district employees on the 3rd as well. And it also integrates with our student management system, and with the enhanced features of the district, it lets us control parameters of when this information is disseminated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pantaleo. Mr. Riddell?
Thank you very much. I'll be relatively brief. I just wanted to build off of when Mr. Hobb was presenting his last slide, spoke about transportation. I just wanted to accentuate that because I think we may have skipped over that. There will be a late bus run that will be offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays beginning next week. That's to help accommodate this sports program, the conditioning program, and we're looking to expand that as necessary. So we're going to start with Tuesdays and Thursdays at the high school, looking to expand the athletic program into the middle school, and then we're subsequently looking to expand into the elementary schools with AIS and STREAM programs, ultimately with the goal of having our late buses run Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, while we're in phase 3, being Wednesday all remote. So I just wanted to accentuate that. And then I also wanted to just share with the board that we're very excited because it's getting close to Halloween, and we've been working with Operation PJ Pride the team at the high school to really give our community an opportunity to do a trunk or treat program, even during the times we're in, and it really appears that it's all coming together. So it's scheduled for Friday, October 30th, and the rain date does seem a little confusing because it's actually the day before. We're looking to make the call on Wednesday afternoon. Do we do it on Thursday or do we do it on Friday? Friday being the optimal day. So we're excited about it. We have a few organizations already signed up to have a trunk. The seniors are going to be a part of the costume parade and walk over from the middle school to the high school. That's where the trunk or treat will take place. And central office will have a trunk there, just so you're aware. And if the board wants to have one, you're certainly welcome. But that will be Friday, October 30th. And the final thing is, as each of you know, we have the attestation on our website, and that every faculty, staff member, visitor needs to complete that attestation saying they have no COVID symptoms, haven't been exposed, etc. We've been encouraging our students to do it. We are launching a program throughout this week to really get that word out, and it's basically going to be the expectation that all students fill it out every day, whether they're remote or whether they're in person. So we'll be launching some videos. Our nurses are doing a great video on that, and we'll also have some literature that gets sent home, but I just wanted to make the board aware of that, and that's my report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Rideau. Okay, next item on the agenda is the consent items. These include minutes of the October 6, 2020 regular meeting, disposal of outdated irreparable equipment, ASK Library book list for distribution/disposal, CSE meeting minutes from 9/29, 9/30, 10/1, 10/2, 10/5, 10/6, 10/7, 10/8, and 10/9. CPSE meeting minutes from 10/1, 10/7, and 10/9. Treasurer's financial reports for September, and at this time I'd like to have a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll move it. Second.
Bill and Flo, anyone opposed, any discussion?
I just want to note that I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I did contact district office regarding the library reading log, because of course as an English teacher, I opened it and I read the 227 titles that were being removed from the library, from one library. And my concern that the majority of the sections were all classics. I know that they may have been printed a very long time ago, but they're classics for a reason. But I was assured that the books were, that it was also noted by administration and that they checked into it, and that I'm trying to let everybody know if I asked. It's a lot of books to get rid of.
Yes, it is, and I will say, because Mr. Pantaleo probably would not, that once that was received by district office, Mr. Pantaleo immediately had it pulled from the draft of the board agenda and then did the research on that. And it was one of the things that I do want to point out was that while it says that the 2013 date is the date that nearly every one of those books was issued, that's because that's when the electronic program that's used to track the books, that's when that was implemented. So even though the book is from 1973, it says 2013 because that's when it was introduced into this system. So I just wanted to clarify that in case that was a question, because that would likely be a question of someone, why are you getting rid of books that are 7 years old? Getting books that are 47 years old and with wear and tear, that sounds a little different. So just want to clarify it.
Any other questions?
I was actually just going to point out the treasurer's reports.
Okay.
Anybody that looked at them, you'll see a number of negatives actually. Those aren't true negatives. Some of that was altered in our payroll, in that we had to, we got some federal stimulus money in lieu of foundation aid, and so that money had to be placed in a separate code for tracking purposes as required by the state. So that money had to get transferred. So just before, when you saw that, those negatives aren't true negatives. You'll see it's corrected in the next report.
Okay. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next item is personnel employment items. These include leave of absence, termination employee number 2050, termination employee number 4883, resignation position number 538, resignation position number 2847, resignation assistant varsity wrestling coach, appointment support staff probationary vacancy number 2238, position number 424, appointment support staff probationary vacancy number 2238, position number 590, appointment vacancy number 2239, co-curricular advisors, appointment vacancy number 2239, coaching JV wrestling coach, appointment administrative staff vacancy number 2257, interim assistant principal, appointment instructional staff substitutes for the 2021 school year, appointment support staff substitute clerk typist, appointment support staff substitute clerk typist, substitute teacher aide, substitute school manager, appointment to annual positions 2021 school year, correction to co-curricular stipends, and approval of, this time I'd like an approval, motion to approve these items.
I'll move it.
Kayla?
Second.
Brian, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Debbie,
Yes.
I just want to state that, Bridget is my daughter-in-law,
Okay,
just for a side note,
okay.
for everybody to be transparent.
Okay, next item on the agenda, item 8A is the first reading of policy number 8241, patriotism, citizenship, and human rights education. Is this the one you alluded to last time? Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? No, okay. I have a motion and a second to approve this item.
I'll move it.
Bill?
Second.
Kayla? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8B is second and final reading of policies number 3520, 6550, 6570, 7130, and 7150. I'll entertain a motion to bring this item to the floor for discussion.
I'll move it.
Flo?
Second.
Kayla? Is there any discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8C is affiliation agreement with Misericordia University for occupational therapy internship. I'd like a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor for discussion. Flo?
Second.
Kayla? Is there any discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8D, revised scholarship, the Mark Ropke and Justin Ropke Memorial Scholarship. I'll entertain a motion to bring this item to the floor for discussion.
I'll move it.
Bill? Second? Flo? Is there any discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, board committee reports, were there any meetings since our last meeting? No. We did policy
We
meeting.
had policy meeting yesterday, but.
You don't have the, we'll have next time, okay. Okay, board member comments, I'm just gonna go around the table. Tanya? Judy?
No,
Linda?
I just want to thank Mr. Howard for coming and giving us an update on the athletics. I appreciate it.
Kayla? Bill?
No.
Brian? Flo?
Just like Mr. Howard, thank you very much, and I'm just so glad that we are talking about sports and even, to start them, and I think it's good for our kids and our staff, and I want to thank everybody, again, you can't thank everybody enough for administration, teachers, and buildings, to keep the school going, and thank you, because I know it takes a lot.
Okay, and the only thing I have is that, I had asked Mr. Pantaleon, probably about a week and a half ago, to send out, I sent an email to all the board members and asked if he would set up a Google Classroom for us where we could share. He created a form actually, and I don't know how many have responded to him with ideas they might have for any kinds of education we could get as board members. I know that NISMA offers a lot of on-demand webinars. You just need to sign up, create a username and password as a board member. They're also pushing out some of the different, a lot of times we wonder what when different issues come up, well, did we teach this, did we talk about that? So they're sharing that stuff on the classroom as well. So take a look at that and fill out the form if you have a moment. We try to get some education stuff out there for the board. Okay. Next item on the agenda is dates to remember. So October 22nd is National Amish Society induction. There will be 2 sessions at 5 and 6:30 p.m. here in the high school auditorium. October 24th is the PTSA Family Pumpkin Painting event. You need to email ahead of the event to register for a time slot. There are 3 time slots available at 11, noon, and 1 in the Port Jervis High School student parking lot. October 26, 27, 28, and 29 is underclassmen yearbook pictures between 6:30 a.m. and 2:12 p.m. in the high school river gym. October 30th, is the Port Jervis High School Senior Costume Parade and Car Decorating, Operation PJ Pride Trunk or Treat. The time is TBA, you said, or was it 6 o'clock?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
The folks that want to participate in trunk or treat as trunk or treaters will use pick a time on our website.
Okay. And it'll be in the Port Jervis High School teacher parking lot and the Port Jervis High School and ASK parking lots as well. November 3rd is the superintendent conference day, no school for students. November 7th, which is a Saturday, is SAT exams. They'll be given here at the high school at 7:30 a.m. November 10th is the board meeting at 7 p.m. here in the high school cafeteria. And for some other upcoming events, November 11th, Veterans Day, the district is closed. November 13th, grade 7 to 12, second mark period report cards will be issued. November 23rd and 24th is half-day superintendent conference day for all schools. And November 25th to 27th, believe it or not, will be Thanksgiving recess, when there will be no school. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll second.
Bill, Tanya, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Have a great evening, everybody.